If you could live green, would you? I'm Nick Federoff, host of Things Green, where we introduce nuggets of green lifestyle from gardening, upcycling, answering your questions, sustainability, even discussing environmental issues. You can become more confident in making the right decisions for you and your family. So come along as we are Things Green. Okay, as far as I can tell, we're in a sea of avocado over here. You grow a lot of avocado, don't you?
Yeah, I have a lot of varieties.
Yeah.
You know, when I first got into this business, I was familiar with 3 or 4 types of avocado.
That's me. Bacon, Fuerte,
no,
and what's the other popular one?
Hass.
Yeah.
I knew Hass, Mexicola, because we use the leaves, and Fuerte, and that was it. And next thing I know, there's a whole world of avocados. When a lady told me that there were over 300 varieties of avocado, I thought she was kidding. And then it turns out that there's way more than 300 varieties.
Wow.
Yeah, the University of Irvine Cooperative Extension, they have fields and fields of avocado because they are growing some from seeds, from a seed, from a seed, from a seed, and they wait up to 10 years to try the fruit. If it's good, it's a keeper. If it's not good, it's a goner.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's wild.
how long it takes to actually have one avocado grown from seed.
Okay, so how do you keep them all straight? How do you know what is what? That doesn't make any sense to me.
They all look the same. Huh?
They do look
They all
the
look the
same.
same. Well, they're marked. So like this one here is gem. You know what those letters stand for? Gray Edward Martin.
Okay.
So Gray Edward Martin, it's a guy who
that's
did
his variety.
They name it after him. He's an avocado expert. So he worked with the University of Riverside for so long, and they wanted to name one avocado after him. So this is named after him. So Gray Edward Martin. Such a great man, great friend. I've learned so much from him when it comes to avocados. He was here last year and he gave me a lot of advices on how to keep these avocados going.
Oh.
So I really appreciate his help. You know, I've been having so much help from professionals like you, like him, and I got a lot of mentors, and I got to thank you on camera. I want to thank you for all you do for us. You've been here many times, and every time I have a question, you don't hesitate to answer it. You're not, you're not charging me for your consultation I get from you. So thank you.
You're a very good friend of me, and you're a very good friend of the show. So you are very welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
This guy's got a heart of gold. You know what? He bleeds gold because he's got a heart of gold. That's what's really cool about him. Okay, so this avocado right here, before I break out in a tear right now because of all your sappy thank you stuff, this one right here is like an ancient variety, isn't it?
Yeah, this variety here is actually from the Esterina. Well, actually, not Esterina. They called it Esterina because it's named after a lady. And I have the story about this avocado. There's actually a book written about this avocado. This guy used to grow avocados in Culver City, so he had about 50 acres of avocados in Culver City when there were no houses. There were only 3 houses in Culver City. That was his, I think it was one of another relative, and the guy who maintained the whole avocado growth. So there's some avocados that are still there, and the daughters of this, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, you're gonna see this, I forgot his name. So they asked me if I could graft them because the trees are still there. They're over, these trees were planted in 1940, 1945. So they've been there for many, many, many years. And they wanted to preserve these trees because little by little they've been cutting it down, and because they're getting too old and some of them were sick. So she wanted me to preserve these trees. So we did some grafts. So some of them will have names and some of them will have numbers. So this is the number of the house. This is the street house number where this avocado is. So it's 10744, and there's another one which is B. So there's then A, which is the first three that we went to see. Then there's a B, and there's a C, and there's a D. And so we were able to graft quite a few of those. And these daughters of this guy, they wanted to keep the memory going. So I went and got some branches from the trees, branches that were like this big.
Really?
And we grafted into these seedlings that I have here. And as you can see, they're
growing.
They're
growing.
working. So some of them will have A, some of them will have B, some of them will have C, and some of them will have numbers only. So there were only 5 trees left out of those 50 acres that were planted at one point. So these trees, they have very beautiful history behind it.
That is pretty amazing. In the world of heirloom vegetables, it becomes an heirloom after 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And so
this could be true to seed.
Yeah, this could be true to seed. That's
Well, it just takes too long to fruit. It could take anywhere between 5 to 12 years before you see a fruit from a seedling.
And do we know what the fruit looks like on this yet? Or?
She has a picture. Yes, on the history of the avocado, there's actually a picture of it. And, there's raised tree, and there's all the information that needed to be known about this avocado. So I have it. I'll share with you when I get a minute.
Okay, so I understand you actually have a favorite in here.
I don't have it here, unfortunately.
Oh, it's not here?
I sold them all. Oh, man. I should have kept one for myself. John Boy's. I like jam. I have 10 favorites.
10 favorites.
So one is jam. The other one is Charwell, Lamb has, Carmen has Fuerte, Pinkerton, Naval, Reed, and there's another one that I can't remember right now. There's so many of them that are absolutely delicious. They're very high in oil content, and they're very flavorful. And the pit's small, fruit's big, so there's a lot of meat in each avocado. There's some avocados that they're big, but the pit's so big, and what's inside it's very watery. And we don't have anything that is watery.
I don't care for the watery ones. I like that nice solid
but some
meat.
cultures use the watery one for smoothies.
Oh.
And desserts and ice cream,
For the record, there's no way that I'm going to have any kind of ice cream that's made out of avocado.
Well, how about made out of garlic?
Absolutely not. Have you ever had that before?
Yes, but I regretted it right away.
In Gilmore, I can't believe they actually do that kind of stuff.
I've driven so many times through those little stores, the fruit stands, and they advertise the ice cream, and one day, curiosity killed the cat. So I went out there and got one ice cream, and as soon as I got it, no. Yeah. So,
okay, so I see a lot of things that are going on here. You've got the LH, you've got, I don't know what that means, LH.
LH stands for Lamb Has.
Lamb Has,
so
okay.
It's one really delicious avocado. It's larger fruit than Has, and to me, better than Has. But if I say that on the record, then I get so many people complaining.
Yeah, people get really passionate about their avocados, don't they?
Yeah, one time I said that it was better than, that Carmen Has was better than Has, and I got a whole bunch of people like, how can you say that? Okay. I said my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I always say my personal opinion. I guess it all got to do with the tasting buds, or what is it?
Yeah, I guess your palate. Okay, so I see someone doesn't know how to spell over here. Right?
Well, there's an avocado called Helen with one L, and there's a Helen with 2 L's. So Helen's with 2 L's came out of Santa Monica. It was developed in Santa Monica. It was named after Helen. And this is actually an avocado that it's really delicious in comparison with the one with 1 L. So I had a lady coming to do a workshop on avocados here at the nursery, and she said, don't even think about growing Helen with 1 L.
Really?
But focus on growing Helen with 2 L's.
Did she say that's my personal opinion?
No,
or
did
she
not.
was just she was adamant about
She
it.
was very, very specific about it. And I've been getting a lot of opinions that Helen with 1 L, it's not good. It's not tasty, it's not buttery. So we try not to get that here at the nursery, so we only focus on Helen with 2 L's.
Sorry, Helen with 1 L.
Yeah,
Just that's just that the way that works, huh?
We grafted a lot of avocados in 1 gallon.
Yeah, I was noting. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because all of these little itty bitty avocados are, of course, are going to turn into big trees. None of these are dwarfs, right?
None of them are dwarfs.
Okay, so
Actually, I'll take it back. There's a few of them here that are little cado. So little cados are dwarfs. So there's going to be some here that are little cados.
is that pretty much the only dwarf avocado that's around?
There's Words, there's Holiday, and Gem. Actually, believe it or not, Gem only grows 15 feet.
Oh.
And when I tell people 15 feet, that's huge. Yeah, in comparison to the Fuerte that grows 50. So 50 compared to 15 makes it look like a miniature.
Yeah.
So, and of course, pruning is very important. You have to trim your avocados, I mean, all your fruit trees, at least once a year. Peaches, nectarines, and all those stone fruits, you can trim it twice a year, summer and winter, but avocados at least once a year. Citrus, avocados, you trim them
Encourages that growth,
Yeah,
encourages the
I watched a
fruiting.
video where you were talking about some citrus where the top branches got sunburned, and you recommended not to prune it now. Wait until it gets cooler, because if they get pruned now, they're going to get burned again.
Yeah.
Right? The new growth will get pruned again. So also it happens that if you prune your avocados in, say, January, February, all this new growth will come by March, and a lot of insects will come back from dormancy in March, so they're going to be eating all this new growth. There's
Well, it's
fresh
delicious.
salad, like fresh salad served to these insects, so it's best not to give them fresh growth. So you can trim them maybe in October, November, and so that way the new branches will be already more mature when these bugs come out to life.
You know, it's really interesting. I'm actually glad that you brought that up. That particular post that you were talking about has actually stirred a lot of controversy. Really a lot of controversy. And you know what? In a perfect world, if we were able to take our trees and take the trees and to protect them, you know, put, like here, we've got this shade cloth right here. So we've got this shade cloth right here. It's nice and cool in here right now. And you can throw something like this over those trees to help protect them from frost. You can protect them from sunburn. You know, we've had some just killer heat, and that's what's damaged. You know, so between frost and heat, I'll tell you, it's like it's a no-win situation. But if you pay attention to the weather, you pay attention to the weather people with how they're saying what they're saying, when you know this is coming. If you are able to throw something over the plants, you could protect your plants from those kind of harsh conditions.
And also by painting them. There is a clay paint, and there's this powder made out of clay, so it's an organic clay that you can make a mixture and paint your trees, so it protects it from being sunburned.
Yeah.
And it reflects the heat also. So a lot of people say that you can use water-based paint. I tried it and it made a mess.
Yeah.
It made a mess. I think my boots are still painted. So the clay, it's called Surround PW, that you can get in Amazon. Unfortunately, there's no other source selling it, and it's not that cheap. But that's one of the best products that you can use to paint your avocados, your citrus.
And the reason why I'm saying this is that just on the inside of the bark is something called the phloem. And the phloem is where the juices of the plant are running up and down the plant, taking the nutrients, taking the moisture, taking the water that's coming from the roots up and down it. Now, believe it or not, he says sunburn. Sunburn is a real thing, and if the branches of your plants get sunburned, then the phloem, the juices, can't. It stops, and the plant could die. So this is just another technique here, and this is the techniques that the pros use. So you know, we got to listen to what they're doing. Definitely.
I've learned, like I said, I've learned a lot of things from pros and a lot of people that are not selfish. They're willing to share all this information, valuable information, and then I share it to the consumers. Because if they're successful growing their trees, you know, eventually they bring customers to us.
Yeah.
Because they will trust that we are doing the best we can to keep those trees, you know, going.
Okay, so you had a little stick in your hand, and what were you going to do with that stick?
This is an avocado, has avocado scion wood. So this is called a scion wood. So I cut this from a mature tree that it's ready to produce fruit. So I can graft this into a seedling. This is grown from a seed. We got the avocado pit, and we planted it. It's been a year and a half since we planted those seeds. Now they're ready to be used as rootstock.
Okay, so that's the scion. The rootstock is the part that's going to root off of that pit. And do we have any examples over here to show somebody what one looks successful?
So in the perfect world, I would get a rootstock that matches my scion wood. So that would be it. That would be about the size of the scion wood. So I'm going to go to my grafting station, and I'm going to...
Whoa! What did you just do? What are you thinking?
I just got the
You just decapitated it.
So I can put it
Okay, but look at. Okay, so look at. I'm going to tell you right now. That ain't working, buddy. That's
So we have to use some glue. No,
okay.
actually
A tape.
a tape. So we're gonna glue these.
Okay, where's the station at?
We're gonna be
Oh,
working back there.
Gonna work.
We're gonna have to do a little walking.
Okay, so we're gonna walk down. That's okay. We're walking through like a botanical garden over here right now. There's just so much to see and to do and to look at.
And so much to do too.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of the beast. So you've got these cycads that are over here. You've got aloe vera. Oh yeah. Well, check this out. You got a ton of this.
Yeah.
This is like the happening thing right now in the world of plants, isn't it?
Well, right now a lot of people are looking for this plant because they like to drink the tea. So they use the leaves to make tea. You know, lately a lot of people are concerned about being healthy, so they use a lot of tea. So they use lemongrass, lemon verbena. They use the Justicia brandigiana. They use the soursop. There's many leaves that are used.
Oh, this isn't soursop?
This is soursop.
It is soursop.
It is soursop.
Okay.
So if you want to keep the plant to produce fruit, it will take probably 8 years before they actually produce fruit, and you have to protect it in the winter. We have it here under this protected
Conditions.
greenhouse because in winter, when it gets too cold, they can die.
So I took a leaf that's a little wonky here.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's not like lemongrass. So it doesn't taste that good, but supposedly, according to Google, it really helps your system. Because all this information comes from Google. So
There's a lot of
I'm not inventing it.
So-
It comes out of Wikipedia.
So it's
Google.
buyer beware and be careful if you're going to eat it.
Yeah, a lot of people say don't believe everything you read. Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of information posted there that can be actually used to get more information about it. I can't really say that it's poisonous because we haven't died. I had the tea.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little wobbly right now. Okay, so this is
my station.
this is your grafting station.
Well, I'm going to graft it here because it's nice and cool.
Okay.
I have my medical. I asked my wife to bring me my grafting tape, but she got me a different one. That's actually not the one I need.
I think he goes fishing more than he does any kind of grafting. That looks like a fishing box, not a grafting box. I do the same thing. I actually have a makeup box that I have because you have a whole bunch of containers in the makeup thing. So I put all of our little fittings and things like that that are necessary for.
I think I'm gonna do this because she didn't bring me the grafting tape.
Oh, there's no grafting tape. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you show us the cut?
This works but not for this particular one. I need to use a very particular variety, which is waxed.
Oh, the wax tape.
The wax tape. And
Yeah.
she didn't give me that.
That's all right. Let's take a look at.
But at least you get the idea. So I did get my scion wood already, and with the waxed tape, I would wrap it around, and then I'm going to make a cut here. This is like a little wedge. You've probably done this many times.
Yeah. I actually just helped a friend.
So that's like the perfect shape. And then we're gonna put that right into here. And once it's there, I also use two pieces of the wax tape. So this has to match, the cambium layer has to match. From the sign wood to the rootstock has to really match. So it will work there. Believe it or not, it will work there since it's going to be kept in a very nice cool place. It will work there. So now we're just going to wrap this around and this will become one. The top part and the bottom part will become one. They're going to be married forever.
And how many years will it take before this one fruits?
The fruit, 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
If it grows fast, if the graft takes, in 2 years they're going to be producing fruit. But sometimes, you know, grafts fail. And sometimes it's not that it's not done right. When the guys are watering, they hit the sign with the watering
it knocks them off.
shower, and they move it.
Oh.
And that's pretty much it. So that's a graft right there.
Nice.
So usually I put a little plastic bag on top, like this sandwich bag. I call the greenhouse, the portable greenhouse, and that's it. So
Very good.
if I had a greenhouse, I put it in the greenhouse. But since I don't have a greenhouse right now, I just put the portable greenhouse.
Okay, so I think we have around 10 seconds left.
Okay.
And I'd like to go over there and I want to show somebody how to do pollination real quick, okay? So let's go over to that plant.
Okay, let's go talk about the passion fruit right here. It's another passion fruit. We talked about passion fruit some other time, but now we're going to talk about this. You see how many fruits it's got? It's got a lot of fruits.
Okay,
And
let's...
Every single flower has been handful of this. I have some pollen here that I collected already. So this pollen belongs to another species called Passiflora cerulea. So I collected the pollen because this plant on its own is sterile. So it will not produce fruit on its own. So we have to really apply the pollen to the stigma. These three things are the stigma.
Bzz, 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 bzz. That's important, you got to make the sound. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
There it is.
And that's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do.
Okay, now can you take the pollen from the same plant, from other flowers from the same plant and pollen, or does it have to come from a separate plant?
The whole plant is sterile.
Okay.
So those, I tried many times. I tried different varieties, and the only one that worked was the Passiflora cerulea. That grows everywhere. It grows in abandoned alleys or.
And look how gorgeous that flower is.
And it's
absolutely
very
beautiful.
fragrant too.
Okay, so if anybody wants to, you got to go to Ricardo Nursery's Facebook page because he does little seminars on this kind of stuff. And they're done in English and they're also done in Spanish. So
yeah, I
you
had
do
to do it in Spanish.
Yeah.
A lot of people were complaining that I was not doing it in Spanish.
Yeah, so absolutely beautiful.
I do some Spanish one.
Okay, mi amigo, gracias.
Gracias. Thank you very much. Hasta la próxima.
Thanks for joining me on another excursion of Things Green. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain so you can become exposed to a green lifestyle inside and outside of the home and community, all on your terms. Join me next time right here as we help you with Things Green.